The farm was obviously a discipline. Modern life, the suburbs are not a discipline. And the suburbs are everything dancing. It all comes, milk comes out of packets. Spaghetti hangs on the trees. I mean, the suburbs are essentially detached from reality. And if you're born and bred in the suburbs, you're not going to have that automatic sense of reality which peasant boys have. I'm idealizing the peasant life, obviously, but it was in itself, the backward way of life is in itself a lot healthier than the modern way of life. I'll give you an example. One example, then we're going to break off. I just had a tragic email from a father of 10 children whose wife has kicked him out. She's gone nuts. She's had 10 children. Probably the strain has been, well, the strain must have been heavy. Maybe he didn't have enough understanding for her. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know him from Adam, and I don't know her from Eve. So I don't know what went on. But in any case, she's put him up in the law courts. She's thrown him out. She has said, if you abandon this trad cult, this traditional Catholic cult, if you abandon that, then I will allow you to live in the basement, so long as you make a promise not to interfere with the education of the children. There are still 7 children at home. 3 children now adults and out in the big bad world. The eldest is with his dad. I think the other 2, the second, I forget something, something. The third, I'm not sure. I think 1 and 3 are with dad. But he's not allowed to contact his children, his other children, in any way. And they have, they were with dad, so mum has brought in therapists to switch the children from the trad life, inculcated by dad, taught by dad, to the mod life, which has the approval of her parish priest, a novice order parish priest, the approval of her family, and so on and so on. All of whom are telling her that she's quite right, obviously, to have thrown him out. And he can't get at his children. Tragic. And that's the suburbs for you. Because if she, and Dr. White, my good friend in the United States, thinks that it's the loneliness of such mothers that has a lot to do with it. I don't think that's the whole story. I think the whole story is she possibly was born and bred in, possibly went through a modern university. She absorbed all the poison of vegetable at the kitchen sink, barefoot and pregnant, and all of that. That poison she took in. Then after university, she met her husband. She fell in love with him, and he led her into tradition, and she followed. She followed for 10 children, but then every time she went to the supermarket, everybody mocked her. Can't you stop breeding like a rabbit? What's the problem? What's your problem? All the other suburban mothers say that to him. What can the poor guy do? The poor mother, it's pressure upon the poor mother. I don't know what happened, but I suspect that's probably what happened. And he says, she's lonely. She's not got enough real other mothers to talk to. She needs other real mothers. Dr. White says in his experience, and he's experiencing many such cases in the United States today. He's got one after another of these mothers collapses and can't take the weight of the trad cat life and give up. And then they turn on their husbands. And with all the force of a woman's will, because women have stronger wills than men, she throws him out. What can he do? Because the courts all back the mum. There's no way in which the courts are going to back dad. It's suicide for a nation. Such disintegration, such planned disintegration. There are people that want this. The Jews and the Freemasons want this. They want to break down the Western nations. They want to break down the morals and the standards and the life of the white males. They hate the white males most because the white males were responsible for this way of life. They built it up, led by the church, led by the Catholic faith. The Jews got into through Freemasonry, they got into the church big time with Vatican II. The church is broken down. What is there still to defend and protect the white Catholic male? And so the males have collapsed. And then the blacks turn on the whites because the whites are no longer defending what they should be defending, standing for what they should be standing for. The women turn on the men because the men are no longer standing for what they should be standing for. And there's another one, so hence this tremendous hatred of the whites, scorn of whites, and the scorn of, the Jews turned on the Gentiles. There was a time when the Gentiles had the Jews under control and for their own good kept them in ghettos or helped them to look after themselves, because the Jews wanted the ghettos, not the Jews wanted the ghettos because they wanted to be on their own. Okay, said the whites at that time, you live in your ghettos and you stay in your ghettos, and we will oblige you to listen to a sermon on Sunday. That's the Jews in Rome. They were obliged. They had to send representatives to listen to a Catholic sermon. The whites oppressed the Jews for their own good. Now the Jews are oppressing everybody for their own triumph. But their own triumph will be their hell, obviously.